Tom Jones. It's not unusual. Senior fellow at the Centre for Migration Control. A very good afternoon. Here he is. Look, here he is. Look. Mick Hucknall's back on the show. Yeah.
You can never resist, can you, Jeremy?
Well, honestly, have a look. You look like that mad guy that annoyed me on Saturday. Have you heard what happened to me on Saturday at the kids' school?
No.
It was the leaving do for Henry at Lord Wandsworth College. Happy to announce it every single day because they hacked me off. They brought on some bloke from the BBC, Andy Zaltman, and his bald with ginger spiky bit. Funny for 4 minutes, and then proceeded to tell 11 to 18-year-olds that they that all the grandparents and parents had ruined their lives by leaving the European Union, that Donald Trump should be impeached, that net zero was the future, and that the Labour Party was great. And I'm sitting there thinking,
that was a laugh.
Well, I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, and yes, you against private education, but you're taking a fee on a Saturday to be the voice. But nobody asked me my opinion, so I kept quiet. Donald Trump, interestingly, right now, is speaking at a new migration detention centre in Florida. On a serious note, we've seen The Sun's exclusive this week, Tom, which is done some wonderful work. We've got illegals working in fast food delivery within 10 minutes of landing on these shores. We've got fury by the bucket load from people in this country who are suddenly realising that channel migrants are being offered things that they can't get, like free eye tests, like prescriptions, dental treatment, wellness trips, for God's sake. And we've got to wake up in the morning and see in The Sun and see online selfies taken by migrants on packed dinghies as they dodge cops and make it to the United Kingdom. I despair. I'm being completely serious. And so do many people.
Yeah, we're in a really, really bad situation at the minute, and things are getting a lot worse under Starmer at the minute, which actually, interestingly, he has admitted to that the channel crisis is accelerating. So I think estimates for this year are 50,000 for the first time migrants crossing. And obviously, I mean, there's been some great work by The Sun, as you've already spoken. What that doesn't cover, that investigation, is that a lot of these bike couriers are working illegally, but in home office accommodation, and a lot of their earnings are actually going to repay debts to people smugglers so that they could get here in the first place. And obviously, you're quite right. Most people don't realise the huge range of benefits that asylum seekers get whilst their claims are being processed, which takes a lot longer than most European countries. I remember seeing a video from the Asylum Hotel in Stockport, where there was a public meeting, and residents expressed a lot of concern about the pressure on public services that new arrivals would place. And the MP thought he had a great answer, because he said, no, don't worry, they won't place any pressure on local services because we're giving them all private healthcare. It's absolutely crazy. And these are huge pull factors for migrants.
There's your word. That's why I get angry. It shouldn't be a pull to come to a country that is financially on its knees and cannot provide the services to its own people who are paying for it. That's why the man on screen, Donald Trump, is flying in America. Whether love him or loathe him, he does what he says he's going to do. And I say it every single time I see him. I remember about 2 weeks after the inauguration, Tom, there was a woman with some children on the Mexican border crying, and they were interviewing her, and they said, what's the matter? She said, well, there's no point in going now. He won't let me in. I'm in the studio going, yes, because that's what he said. Because that's how it should be. But we don't have that here, do we? We don't have it. It's too easy, but more than that, it's too bloody attractive. And unless we make it less attractive, I'm not into deterrence. The only deterrent you need is 3 Navy ships to turn away a few boats, and then you need to say, you're not getting Jack. You're not coming here. You're going into a boat, and I'm taking you to the Ascension Islands, or the Orkney Islands. Nothing against the Orkneys before you text me again. I'm being completely serious. You're not setting foot in this country if you don't have a legal right to be here. We are no longer a charity case.
No, that's completely right. And I think that's really the steel and the iron that we're missing in the current government. Labour are in a really tight spot on the boats because basically because of their left-wing base, they really don't want to criminalise migrants themselves. And that means that they can't crack down on the benefits that migrants are receiving. So they can't really address the pull factors because of what that will do to their base vote.
Will anybody get a hold of this? Will anybody get hold of this? Just briefly, I'd love to have more time, but looking at that man on screen, Donald Trump will speak. We'll hear from him in a sec. But can anybody have the courage in this country to say, I don't care about the blob, I don't care about upsetting certain parts of the mainstream media. The British public are calling for something to be done about this.
Maybe the man on screen could do it. Maybe, I'm not saying me, but maybe it could be somebody like me.
It's very good. Get off. Thank you very much indeed. Tom Jones, the Senior Fellow at the Centre for Immigration Control.